Hey guys, it's Jeff. I'm out here with Carter and Craig at the range today, and we're going to take a look at a couple of different 12 gauge loads. So if you take a look at these, it might not look that big of a difference, but there's a pretty vast difference in these two rounds. So what we have here is the Federal Tactical Flight Control 8 pellet, thought by most is the best round for self-defense that's out there because of the spread and the consistency of this round and the devastating effect it has. And it's a fantastic round. And what we have here is just a Remington target load, equivalent to a birdshot or something similar to that. And we're going to shoot these two Rangemaster Q3 targets that represent a humanoid figure and look at where they pattern and how they hit. And I think because of that, when we see the results, we'll see why we prefer this Federal Flight Control double-aught buck for self-defense. So the big thing is we're not just responsible for every round we fire, we're accountable for every round that we fire. So there is no such thing as a miss. Jeff Hall said there's only unintended hits, and I believe that thoroughly. This round, we shot it in some gel earlier. It did fantastic in the gel. It's performed well in real life on the street. It does a fantastic job. So this is what I load in my shotgun, and that's what I'll always load in my shotgun, because if I ever need it, number one, need to stop that deadly threat. And number two, I've got to be accountable for what it does, and I don't want it to over-penetrate. I don't want a flyer to go off and hit someone that doesn't need to be hit. So I don't get caught up as much in spread as some people do. I want a very controllable, tight spread because this is eight pellets of buck right here. It's equivalent of 8 rounds of 9mm hit at one time. It's devastating. I don't need it to be this big. I need it to put a hit right there and stop the threat. So I'm going to shoot the target load first, run that over here in this target on the right, and I'm going to get it about 5 yards. Pretty decent little distance right there for self-defense with a shotgun. And I'm going to try to put a round somewhere in the thoracic cavity right there. We'll see what the target load does. Then we'll load up the flight control, put it in bad guy number 2, and we'll compare the difference. We have our Mossberg 590A1 here. Going to use it to test this out right here. We're going to start on target number 1 right here with the Remington target load. So we're hot. Everybody's got their eyes and ears on. Let's see what it does. All right. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. We're going to throw the flight control in, put it on target number 2, see what happens there. Same distance, 5 yards. Here we go. All right. So as we can see, the tale of 2 loads is pretty dramatically different. We see where the wide went through on both rounds, but then if we go over here and we look at the target load and we come and look, we have a bunch of tiny little pricks that barely made it through the target. There's 1 or 2 stuck in the backer back here. That should tell you something. Then we go over here and we look at this, and we just have a complete devastation out of that Federal Flight Control right there. Did a fantastic job right there, dead center hit. That is incapacitation on one shot right there, the devastating power of the shotgun. So as we can see the difference in the two, and that's why we prefer a double-aught buck for self-defense in our shotguns.